so my question is, the pods, I guess you guys are calling them pods, story pods this time?
For lack of a better word, yes.
So usually you do about 2, but this season you're doing 3. And so what sets the next pod apart from the last 2 that you've done as far as your like excitement level or not so excitement, whichever?
Yeah,
I'm in this one. So I figure I just want to, if I can answer this,
That's
it's probably
the main
at a
difference.
10. Yeah, that's the main difference.
It's the best pod because of Brett Dalton.
Right.
Exactly.
There
like
actually
8,
is
9,
no other
and then
difference.
10.
We're just retelling some of those same stories, but just putting him
back in.
I do a fantastic Coulson.
Yes. We're very excited about this last pod. I think that it's something that we wanted to do for a while, and now that we're in our 4th season, it feels like the right time, which is kind of flipping things on its head, which involves bringing this little puppy back.
Right. We figured if we were going to dive back into Hydra, we might as well bring back our original villain.
And we wanted to do it in a way that didn't undercut the heartbreaking story we had told. So this is sort of an alternate reality, which is a way to get his ugly mug back on screen.
It just goes to show that we just can't let go of Agent Grant Ward.
Yeah,
I can't either. Finally, that phone rang.
Yeah. I think I made that phone call, right?
Yes, I think you did.
I did.
So is this the real redemption story? Because I was always wondering, could you redeem Ward? So is this
We'll
it?
see.
Well, it's certainly an opportunity to. Whether or not that bears true, we'll see.
What they said.
Anything else? No.
Oh, you're just looking for any excuse to kill him off and bring him back?
Yeah. It's not that we like bringing him back; it's that we love killing him.
Exactly. They're going for a record, I think.
Him.
Yeah.
No, you know there's a shorthand for things being for an opposite world, really. Two things that are real shorthand. One is the shield symbol being replaced by a Hydra symbol, and the other is Grant Ward being anywhere in the vicinity of our characters. So, when we started talking about going into the framework and sort of the stories we would tell there, it seemed like an obvious choice to bring his character back and try to tell some new stories.
Yeah. Did you guys see the episode? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes. It was so funny. There were so many people in the front row. We could just hear their gasps and
screaming no.
Yeah.
Excitement when he saved our people, and then heaves of sadness and gagging noises when Fitz kissed.
I was going to say that was the other big one.
Did you close your eyes?
I covered my eyes.
I still sort of do too. Yeah.
I did that. I couldn't watch it. I could not watch it.
I still do that too. All right.
So with that,
I can see the appeal. Yes.
It's like there's a lot of potential for crossovers within the Marvel universe. Is that something that
It's always a possibility. That we can never speak to that really because there are a lot of factors.
Right.
Besides our desire to do it, there's also financial and
logistics.
But no, that's always a possibility, and I think that as you see that they're stepping into, with Doctor Strange, they stepped into sort of a more magical world in the MCU, and we've reflected that with Ghost Rider, and so even when there aren't literal crossovers of characters, I think that all the themes that everybody's exploring are starting to sort of interweave, and it's just expanding and expanding. So the answer would be yes.
Yeah. But are the Netflix shows off limits to you guys? Shows of anything?
No, I got a passcode, bro. Every month I pay for it. It's pretty simple, actually.
Yeah, I think it's off limits unless you have $10.
Yeah.
As far as crossing over.
Yeah.
That's sort of above our pay grade.
Yeah, it's above our pay grade. I think that's a question for Jeff Loeb, but we always welcome the chance.
We'll never say no to anything.
Yeah, we'll never say no to anything.
It seems like there's a lot of instances on those shows where they can mention an Inhuman as an explanation for something and they never do, so there seems to be like a lot of Chinese walls between the various
Well, I think that part of it is when you're in a specific story, we do this too. You don't want to. They don't necessarily want to be saying Inhuman to have their audience going, wait, why are we? Is that something we should be talking about? Why aren't we talking about that? Just as we don't ever, when the end of the world is coming, say, shouldn't Thor be here? Because then everybody will be like, yeah, why the hell isn't he here? So, sometimes even when you want to interconnect, you want to isolate your story so that the stakes feel real and to keep your audience on board.
Is it a challenge to find the balance of how epic you can make the stories before you start questioning why aren't the Avengers handling this, or why doesn't Captain America come back out of hiding for this, or why isn't Tony Stark doing this?
I think that was a challenge that we faced when we first started the show, being that we were Marvel's first live-action television series. Everyone, when they hear the Marvel brand, they hear the Marvel name, they expect they expect Iron Man, they expect the giant feature level production. But I do think over the course of 4 years, we've developed our own style and finesse, if I may.
And our characters, which, unlike the film properties, our characters didn't exist before the show. And same with the Netflix shows. We were introducing characters who were new to the Marvel fans. And so that took a little while to grow out. But I think in response to your question about, I don't think it bothers audiences when you're in, let's say, Iron Man 3, or you're in one of those movies, and all of their action is on an epic global scale, and you don't really ask those questions as long as you're interested in the story. If you start to lose interest, you'll be like, it'd be pretty cool if Captain America came in. Liven things up a bit.
Right. Grant Ward was sort of born out of what was featured in Civil War, or was it Winter Soldier? Which was Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Because we can get more on a personal level, experiencing what is it like to have someone that you've been partners with revealed as well.
Real quick question. What do you hope to bring to this version of Ward versus every other? We've seen a lot of different versions of Ward.
Right.
What do you want to bring to this one?
It's really simple. I just want to stay alive. That's my only goal.
And he isn't even using his time on screen to do that. He's just sending us gifts.
Yeah.
Lots of phone calls.
Something's got to work, right? Just every angle I possibly can. I think that we have incredibly smart writers, and they're bringing me back. I think they're not unaware of the fan base, and I think that we went in an incredibly interesting way with Grant Ward's character over these crazy seasons. But the one thing that I think doing that did was it kind of excluded the possibility of possibly having shit, I'm gonna get myself in a
He's starting. You're about to paint yourself into a corner, right? What I really mean is, I actually can't talk about it.
I realized that. I was like, where am I going?
The story, he can't say anything.
Where am I going?
I mean, I'll answer a little bit for him.
Yes, please do, Jed.
The thing I think that Brett has always brought to Ward is a relatability. Even when he was scary, and we've always talked about, Jeff Loeb refers to Grant Ward as our greatest act out, because when in doubt, you have Grant Ward walk in, everybody goes, yeah, and then he cuts a commercial.
Which we very much did in episode
yes,
16.
we did it. We were like, oh, he's back. That'll be act break number 4. He's always brought a humanity to it, so that when he was when he was an antagonist and on the wrong side of things, there's still people rooting for him because he brings humanity to the role, and he makes you care for him even when he's doing things that would turn most sane people away. And so, we're leaning into some of that likability in this pod, and as you see, I don't know when any of this will come out, but we're still making him one of those people that you have questions about. You like him, or you hate to love him, or you love to hate him, but you're still wondering.
Thank you for the save, first of all. But also now that I've had a chance to actually think about it, I think that the cool thing is, what am I going to bring to this? Is what you said. How is this going to be different? I think this is cool because, as you saw in the episode, it's kind of a return to classic Grant Ward. Season 1, Season 2, before he had Hydra around him and was like on a hell bent on taking Coulson down. There was a like gray area that he straddled, where he was sometimes good, sometimes bad, whatever he needed to be in order to get the job done. And this is really cool because what you have is like somebody who's clearly still capable and clearly can scare you, like in the scene where he's got the gun and like, oh shoot, there he is. I trusted him for a second at the top of the show. Here he goes again. So he still has a lot of those colors in there, and I think that it's just a lot of fun to sort of
Yeah, that was good.
to be
That was
back
good.
for
That was good.
Classic Network. Thanks, yeah.
Do you have any connection, or are you setting up the Inhumans TV show?
Sorry.
Are you involved at all, or is there going to be any connection with the Inhumans TV show?
One would think.
Only in that right now they're only in that we have Inhumans on our show. I mean, their storyline is very separate, intentionally, and so it's going to be its own adventure. And if it meets, it'll be down the road.
Yeah, down the road.